Hello and welcome to Ranting Now again. Now, this past week, Congress decided not to raise the debt ceiling. We knew this was going to happen. We knew that the Republicans were basically going to say no in the House. We knew it. So, and even a bunch of the Democrats did, but it was a symbolic vote. You just knew it was gonna die. So, and this was the clean bill. So now it just comes down to what kind of cuts that the Republicans can get. But I find that silly because nobody wants to raise the debt ceiling. Nobody wants to be in this debt. It's going to come down to this. Either the U.S. defaults on all its debt and plunges the world into an economic crisis that hardly anybody's going to be able to recover from that's not already filthy stinking rich, or people are going to have to pay more for everything. We're going to have to pay even more in gas already here in the States. We're going to have to pay even more in food, more for everything, more. We're just going to have to pay more. And the rich are going to have, no matter what, they're going to have to pony up, because pretty soon they're going to start losing money, because the businesses that they're invested in that rely on consumer, the average person like you and me, buying, an HDTV, a car, and the small businesses are just going to disappear. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know. You're really confusing me. How did we get here? That's what we have to realize. Is how did we get to this point? Over the last 10 years, and I don't necessarily, because people are going to bitch and moan that saying, oh, you're beating up on George Bush. A little bit, yes, but let's look at what he did, and look at what happened, and then let's also look at the last 30 years of deregulation. We never even came close to this problem when we still had regulations in place that kept people from doing shady shit. And that's what it comes down to. Deregulation is the big problem, is because once the banks were deregulated, once the utilities were deregulated, and everything else that came down, where less and less regulations were in there to stop people from doing their shady shit, this is what happened. That's what it came down to. So we have 30 years of several administrations, several Congresses, several everybody who are responsible for this. And they need to be held responsible. Taxes are going to go up. They're going to have to. Reagan figured that out. He couldn't do half the stuff that he wanted to do until he raised taxes. George Bush the First, HW, figured that out, and after he said, read my lips, no new taxes, he raised taxes. He had to. They didn't have the money. The only person who didn't figure it out was W the Second. And he kept giving away money. The prescription drug thing that actually helped my parents out was not paid for. It was not funded in any way, shape, or form. The two wars. I know, I'm beating the proverbial dead horse. We know all of this. But when you want to do something, you have to find a way to pay for it. For those people who are in their own debt problems as they are, me included, you have to find a way to pay for shit before you can do it. The credit card, it doesn't work that way anymore. You save up, and then you buy the big ticket item. I can guarantee you that not half, but probably 10 to 20% of the military spending could be cut, and no one would even notice. And it wouldn't even touch the soldiers. I know there would probably be jobs lost in people's districts and congressmen's districts, but what do you do? So it comes down to this. What is this country willing to do to start paying its debts in the short term and securing its social responsibilities to its citizens who work their lives and pay taxes to take care of them in the long term, and take care of this country in the long term, and make things good for someone, like my kids who are very young and barely in just about finishing up preschool this year. What are you guys willing to do? If I have to pay more taxes, I will pay more taxes. That's fine with me. But God damn it, be responsible. And I'm not seeing that. And this goes back to what I was talking about last week. Us, the citizenry, have to register to vote. And like I said, in various states in the Midwest and a couple in the South, they're making it harder to register. They're making it harder to actually vote. Go now and register. Don't wait until just before the election. Go now and register to vote. The moment you turn 18, register to vote. If you have moved, the moment you're settled, re-register to vote. If you just got your citizenship, register to vote. Your voice counts. If we have enough voices out there saying the same thing, we can make a difference. But you have to register to vote. It doesn't matter what side of the coin you're on. You have to register to vote, and you have to show up. That's it for Ranting Now this week, and we'll see you next time.